Okay, this is gonna be a message about the iLLUMiNAti thought process. Okay, now, this is gonna be off the roof, people. This is gonna be off the roof. I mean, this is somebody could write a book on this. iLLUMiNAti thought process. Okay, let me see how good you can see that. Okay, most people, you know, the iLLUMiNAti know that most people think in a dichotomy, left and right, opposites. Good, bad, left, right, up, down, you know, front, back. That's the way most people think, okay? Now, a kid thinks on one dimension. A baby born, when a baby's born, they just see one side of the story. Now, life is really designed down here based on the spiritual. The unseen create the seen, okay? The heavenly create the earthly, as above, so below. Anyway, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So, you could see in the Jewish temple, and there was another temple called the Temple of, I forget his name, one of the Pharaoh kings, maybe like the third or fourth king of the Pharaoh. Anyway, they had a temple. They had the outer court, inner court, and the Holy of Holies. Okay? This is how everything's designed. You got a body, a soul, and a spirit. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Your soul has will, emotions, and intellect. Now, the will is the head, the intellect is the priest class, and the emotions are the mass of people. In other words, I just showed you in that last video that you have a head of a religious system, you have a priest class, and then you have the people. So your will, you consider that as the head. Your intellect is the priest class. They make all the decisions. And then your emotions act on that. You choose by your will. Your intellect, you can choose by your will, but most people run off emotions. Anyway, that's just one example. Don't even spend much time on that. You got you can see the one-fold nature, the two-fold, and then the three-fold. Most people think on the two level. Now, I think there is a 5 level of thought process, and then I'm thinking that the devil thinks on the 6th level, and that might be why there's 666 sinus. I'll explain the 5th level in just a minute. But right now we're talking about the 3rd level. You got heaven, earth, sea. You got the egg. The egg has a shell, the yellow, and the white. Water, liquid, vapor, ice. If you think, you know, I think my IQ is around 135, top 20%, but that's still, you know, compared to China, that's if you don't include China. 20% of China's population have most of the geniuses in the world, and China's just, they've got so many people, they got geniuses left and right. So if you want to, this is the way I see it. I don't know if this is because of different levels of IQ that people think this way, or just they have insight. I don't know. Mine has nothing to do with me. It's just looking at reading what other men have taught, and then taking the common denominators, these wise leaders, like the mathematician said. He said, the only way I can see further than anybody else because I stood on the shoulder of giants. I have just took what other people believe and said, and then I kind of combined it all together. But there is a fifth level. I'm not able to see that level. I can see glimpses of it. But the fifth level, I showed one time how the money system has 5 levels. It has the common level, the allegorical, the spiritual, the metaphorical. There's 5 levels. You know, you can see just your common use of the money, and then you can see the dollars, the phallic, the coin is coitus. It goes back to a fertility cult, but it's also used as a deception, a fiat money system to lie. There's like 5 levels. I did a video on that, and that explained it. I might put the link in there. But back to what I was saying on the 3 levels: heaven, earth, sea, the shell, yolk, the white. Water is liquid, vapor, ice. You know, I just thought of something. You know, they're saying that all electromagnetic waves, you have waves and particles. Evidently, there's a third property they're not considering, you know. So that might be the solution to a lot of problems in science. But anyway, that's a side note. But if you look at life according to threes, you can see the priest class, the king, the priest class, and the people. You can see it in laws. You can see it in everything. You know, the temple that the Jews had was a type and shadow of the temple above. Okay, you got Jesus as prophet, priest, king. You got the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. That's 3. So you can see 3s all over the earth. In every system, you can see 3. And if you want to understand how the world works, you need to think in 3s. Because thinking in 2s won't work. Left-right paradigms are enemy? No. You got left-right, and you've got alternative media. That's part of the enemy, too. Do you think the CIA is going to leave out the 3rd level, the alternative media? They're deceiving most people. Most people, and I hate to say it, most of the patriots see the left-right as the enemy. They would never imagine thinking in the 3rd level. Do you think the priest class and the CIA don't use the 3 levels? I'm sure them guys are so smart. I'm sure they use 5 levels. They're the master chess players. So you see 1 level of thinking, babies. You see 2 levels of thinking, common man. You see 3 levels of thinking is it's only like the 20% population think that way. Then you see the 5th level, only about 1% think this way. And this is based on Kabbalism. And like I told you, there's 5 levels. The 5th is the esoteric, something like that. You got the common man's level. Then you got 5 levels of thinking. I can see glimpses of that, but I'm not able to think that way on a regular basis. I just can't think that way. I'm not able to see it. So then, after the 5th level, you got a 6th level, which would be, like I'm saying, these esoteric priest class think that they can be God. With the 6th level, the devil's lying to these people to get them to believe a lie, and he's going to say, I am God. See? And then you got the 7th level, and probably what happens is the 7th level is perfection. God, that's a perfect number, evidently. In most biblical texts, people will say, yes, 7 is a number of perfection. But I'm guessing that there's probably 9 levels, 11 levels, 40 levels, 70 levels, and well, God is unlimited. So, you know, He's designed this earth for us to live on a certain level. Most people cannot see past a certain level, and that's when you see their symbols. See, all their New World Order symbols. they all mean something, different levels. You know, you got the pyramid, the capstone, you got the Hitler's thing, you got the SS symbols. All these are different levels. Then you got the tree of life, and all that junk they come up with, and then you see the cube inside the. You see the cube inside the Saturn. You know, quantum physics says, oh, we need the 11th dimension to understand a uniform theory. You know. So, make a long story short, what I'm saying is this: the iLLUMiNAti think past the 3rd level. They think on the 5th level. I can prove it, and I'll put the link below. The money is a 5-level system. How I was able to see it, I don't know. It's a miracle, I reckon. But the money is a 5-level system. And these guys think on the 5th level. That might be why they've got these pentagrams. You know, that might be why that the witches, you know, have the pentagrams. You know, I don't know. But this priest class is so far above us that it's going to take a God man who thinks on the 7th level to bring these guys down. Because let's say the president, the CIA, Commerce, let's say they see through all this chaos, you know, order out of chaos. See, what they're doing is they're doing order out of chaos, and they're also doing, they're saying that you need the good and the bad to balance each other out, which is a lie. Amos 3:3, how can two walk together except they be in agreement? Good and bad cannot walk together, but that's their lie. Okay, that is their lie. Order out of chaos, and the good and bad are needed together. They're equal to balance out. That is a lie. Lie number 1. Lie number 2. Okay, so these guys are always thinking on the 5th level. Most of us are thinking on the 2nd level. Some of us think on the 3 levels. Very few think on the 5th level. These guys must have an IQ of 140, 160, 170. I don't know who they are. Maybe they're not human. Maybe they're not human. I don't know. But it's hard to see the 5th level of thinking. And they're always working, man. But their ultimate lie is to tell man that he can be his own God. That is the lie. That these demons, these UFO aliens are telling the priest class. That is the lie. To bring in their false peace, and then sudden destruction. When they bring in that false system of peace, and then sudden destruction, then you're going to see all hell break loose, because right now the Kabbalists love the fact that they're going to build a temple, and, you know, go back to their system of, you know, so-called whatever. And then when that Antichrist sits up and says, I am God, you're not God, you obey me, they're going to get mad and fight. And then he's going to have all this technology to kill them. Okay, that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. The Bible says it. This is not hidden knowledge. This is right there in Revelation. And it's clear. It's clear in the Bible. And I just had a thought. You know, the pyramid, this might support my theory on the 5th level. Let's see. I just thought about this. So you got a pyramid. I'm not good at drawing. Okay, so you got 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, 4 side, and then the underneath side. There's 5 levels of the pyramid. So the 5th level of the pyramid. So you can see that capstone coming in place, the 5th level. But then you notice they've got this new cube where the sphere is going inside the cube. Now the cube, you've got 3 sides on the cube. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels on the cube. Okay, the pyramid had 5 sides. The cube had 6 sides. most of us see a triangle, 3 sides, and most people live on a 2-sided, you know. So the kids live on a 1-sided dot. So I guess we're moving, that's what the symbology might be, I don't know. We're moving away from the priest class, which is on the 5th level, to an antichrist, which is on the 6th level, cube. So that's just a thought. This is conjecture, but it's just an idea. I'll watch some more people's views on this, and the cube is very interesting, people. The cube is so interesting. If you go to the Mycenaean Greek, you'll see the two circles on top of each other for 60. The X was 600, and a line was 666. Now this goes back to Mycenaean Greek. So when you look in your web browser, you see a cube, a square on a square. It's like the circle on a circle. And also you can see this in the Hebrew, early Hebrew. So you're getting ready to see some crazy stuff. I think what we're getting ready to see is we're going into the age of the cube, Saturn worship. Because when you look at the cube, I'll try to draw this. This is pretty interesting, and some of you know this already. When you look at the cube, what do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See it? Google Saturn and look at the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Google Saturn and look at the 3D projection coming off the top of Saturn. You see. And if you draw the line out like a 3D projection, you can see a cube in the top of Saturn. So you see the Muslims, they're all walking around the cube. You see the when you look down on the top of Saturn, you see the rings of Saturn going around the cube. See. So Saturn equals Satan. We're going into the cube age. We're going into the age where Satan sets himself up in this temple, in the Holy of Holies, the 3rd court, the outer court, inner court, the Holy of Holies. So the cube age is when the devil builds this temple using Freemasonic symbology and sets himself up as God. And most people, man, I talk to a lot of Pentecostals and different people, and I just listen to what they say. Most people are living on this level, man. They're living on the level 2. There's no way they can see the 5th level because they're on the 2nd level. And until you get to the 3rd level, you can't even admit there's a 5th level. This is an Illuminati chess game, okay? And you are the pawn. You are the pawn. You're not the bishop. You're not the rook. You're not the queen. You're not the king. You are a pawn. They're playing you like a chess game, and you are a pawn on the board of the Illuminati chess game.